Hello, how are you all? So welcome back again with our SS Literary Heritage of India. We were with different types of language, how they have derived, how the literature came into existence, and many things we had gone through. Ramayana, Mahabharata, Amir Khushro, Tulsidas, Kalidas, the famous well-known saga saint, we can say. We had gone through the Jainism literature, we had gone through the Buddhism literature, Hinduism, then the impact of the sultans, the Mughals, we can say, even the Akbar, the great king, also has our Kalidas and other two Surdas in his court as gems. Now let's continue. Many notes for the book were written during the Abdul Fazl that we had done. Then, on the page number 33, one of the most significant developments during the medieval period was the birth of Urdu language. This new language soon developed into one of the richest modern Indian languages. It produces great poets like Wali, Mirdad, Mir Taki Mir, Nazir Akbar Badi, Abdullah Khan, Ghalib, Iqbal and others. Urdu prose also developed in the early 18th century when the translation of most of the historical works from Sanskrit into Urdu began. At the same time, original prose work in Urdu was written. Muhammad Hussain Azad's Darbar-e-Akbari is one of the best work of Urdu languages. Please underline this thing. Whatever songs today we are listening, Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, Rahat Ali, then many other Sufi singers are there. These all works are derived in Urdu. It has come from the Urdu language. This Urdu language is a respectful language, we can say. That we had gone through the songs today. Lyrically, songs are made most probably. The writers, the poets, whoever they are writing, they take many words regarding from Urdu languages and much more things. This language has affected more to the Indian language. Even till today, whatever Hindi we are going, many Urdu words are there that we are having in our Hindi language too. Now the ancient universities of India, which were the ancient First of all, I would like to question you about, ask you that which university we has in Palanpur? Which university is there in Palanpur? Can anybody answer this question? What are the universities? What is university? Yeah, what are universities? I would like to say you this thing. What are they? A building? A school? A college? A playgroup? Toddler group? What is that in university? Do you know which university we belong? For educational point of view, I am saying, not socially a political point of view, educational point of view, which Palanpur stands, ya Banaskantha district stands, ya connected to which university? Nearby you, there is a big, great university over there. Nearby you, about from 20-25 kilometers from Palanpur, I think so. Might be 30 kilometers, yes. So university, a particular place. It is located in a we are from North Gujarat University. We got North Gujarat University, like this many universities were there. Gujarat University is there. South Gujarat University is there, Saurashtra University, we can say Kutch University is there. So many colleges are running under this university. A huge, we can say, organization. Under that, schools, colleges are connected to it. So they are called university. So which were the ancient university of India. Nalanda is a world famous still today also. Ancient Nalanda University was situated at Badgaon village of the Patna district in Bihar. The Nalanda gave more importance in Buddhist and Jainist traditions. This ancient university also became pilgrims of Jains as Mahavir Swami had performed 14 Chaturmas year. In the 5th century, Kumar Gupta had built a monastery here. Since then, fame of Nalanda University had increased. Fame means name, prosperity we can say. So Nalanda is the one of the oldest and biggest university. And again I would like to repeat, ancient Nalanda University was situated at Badgaon village of Patna district, Bihar. Please underline this thing. The Nalanda gave more importance in Buddhist and Jain traditions. This ancient university also became pilgrims of Jain as Mahavir Swami had performed 14 Chaturmas. Chaturmas means here we are having Mas means month. And in Jainism, Mahavir Swami, the Lord, a great saint of India, we can say, he had performed 15 Chaturmas, means they are doing fast on these days. One Mas means 1 month, so 4 Mas is called Chaturmas, 4 months. Like this, he has performed this fasting for about 15 Chaturmas. So this place is one of the pilgrims in India, as Mahavir Swami had performed this Chaturmas, 15 Chaturmas at this particular place, Nalanda University. Since the fame of Nalanda University increased, there was thousands of priceless treasures of manuscript. This was a pious place of Indian culture, the great place we can say, we can see the great place of our Indian culture over there here. Students from various parts of the world used to come here for study. The great traveler King Shang also came here. Today only the ruins of the great university, but amidst the ruins one can visualize the glorious culture of university. No doubt there are now, this university now is not in progress. Yeah, it is one type of, we can say there is nothing is there, but many Indian culture has developed over here. Many scripts are there. Too much of we can say literature is there in this university. A student who passed out from Nalanda was considered the ideal student of India. Underline this thing. During 5th to 11th century, education was best in Nalanda, and in India at that time had best libraries of the world were available. Many students of India and abroad used to come for study and research in library of Takshashila as well as Nalanda University. Huang Sheng took 657 books from here to China. So you can understand international student means students from different countries used to come to study in India at this place. So how it must be in a prosperous way. Which type of teachings are being given to their what a knowledge, lots and encyclopedia of knowledge we can say. Even the Chinese student, he took 657 books. As you can understand, at that time we are saying about from the 5th century onwards, this university was developed. Today we are in 21st century or so. So you can understand what was the prosperity over there of this university, and how which type of facilities has been given. Library, you can understand over there. Yuan Sang visited the 7th century. There were 7 huge walls, sections in the university. There were 300 rooms for delivering lectures. There were special monasteries were built for dwelling of students. Many villages were donated from university sustenance. Food and clothing facility were provided free of cost from the earnings obtained from those villages. Its books repository means library area was known as Dharmagunj during 5th to 11th century BC. Nalanda was a reputed as well as esteemed center of education. You can students used to live over there. More than 300 rooms were there. Library was there. It was known as Dharmagunj. Some villages were nearby were given responsibility for the food, clothing, and all the expenses. So you can understand from it has been written from during 5th to 11th century BC. Nalanda was a reputed as well as esteemed. The word esteemed. Maruti gave a car named Ascent. So esteemed, great, we can say, full flourish, center of education. Now comes the next Takshashila, one of the another great university, biggest university we can say. Ancient University of Takshashila was located at Rawalpindi of present Pakistan. It was there. Pakistan was a part of India at that time. It was the capital city of ancient Gandhar region. This university imparted education in 64 subjects. Understand this thing. 64 subjects were there. Most of the students stayed in the ashram to practice with Guru Jiva, the disciple of Lord Buddha, learned the lesson of Ayurveda here. So teaching of Ayurveda also was given over here. Students used to stay over here and they can study 64 subjects. In 6 subjects you are running over here and there. In your 10th standard only 6 subjects I think so you are having, and you are frustrated from these 6 subjects. You can understand these 64 subjects were taught over here. So what will be the mental capacity of the student at that time? What would be? According to belief, this university was named after the name of Taksh, the son of Bharat, brother of Lord Ram, born in Raghukul. This university was named Takshashila. Why? According to the belief, it is a belief not proven, that this university was named after the name of Taksh, the son of Bharat, and Bharat was a brother of Ram, born in Raghukul. It was a renowned education center of the 7th century. Students were free to study the subject of their interest. In spite of the limited allotted of 20 students per teacher, they used to teach even more. In spite the allotment of teacher was 20. 1:20 means one teacher for 20 students. I'm sorry for this, but it's naturally. So you can understand that the ratio of, and now you can see the ratio of teachers to student. Students from distant cities like Varanasi, Rajguru, Mithila and Ujjain overcrowded the university. Princess of Varanasi and Prasenjit, the king of Kaushal, studied here. Also the great grammarian Panini and expert politician Kautilya got education from this university. You cannot just imagine that these scholars, Kautilya, you all know Chanakya. Who was Chanakya? Still today, Chanakya's books, his teachings, etc. are learned by all over the world. There is no other book apart from this Chanakya's, I have forgot that book name. Chanakya Shastra, Kautilya Shastra, something like this is that. Best for management. Even the great grammarian Panini has taken his education from this university. Takshashila was the best center for higher education. Normally students used to stay with Guru to practice education of Veda, military science, Gaj Vidya, archery, grammar, philosophy, warlore, astronomy, astrology was given here. Chanakya, the mentor of Chandragupta Maurya, also studied here. Chinese scholar Fa Huyen visited this university in the beginning of the 5th century. So it was a great university. Lots, you can understand that 64 subjects were there. And every subject that comes in our life, that is useful in our life, was taught over here. You can see astronomy. Can't just imagine that. Astrology, philosophy, archery, Ayurveda, everything was taught here, and the great persons of India have taken their education from this university. After that, there is Varanasi, means Kashi University. Varanasi was formed as one of the places of pilgrimage during 7th century. It was a famous education center. It grew as a religious center from the Aryan culture, means Sanskrit culture, in Upanishadic period. King of Varanasi, Ajat Shahu, was a great philosopher of Upanishadic age and great supporter of education. It is mentioned in the Vyas Samhita that Maharshi Ved Vyas had his ashram in Varanasi. Devotional place, we can say. Can't imagine. So Varanasi University was also a dominant place over there for education, and Ved Vyas even had Maharshi Ved Vyas, his ashram in Varanasi. Lord Buddha chose Varanasi, a suitable place for the propagation of his preaching. Potent philosopher Adi Shankaracharya had to move to Kashi to adopt the new principles of Vedantas. Vallabhacharya ji and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ji, the pioneer of Pushti Marg, attained prestige from their Varanasi sects in Kashi. Majority of scholar families of Punjab had migrated to Kashi, while few families migrated to Kashmir. Many other princes came for education in Varanasi. Monastery at Sarnath became a famous education center under the patronage of Emperor Ashoka. So we can understand that lots and lots of scholars were there here. Even Lord Buddha, he to prosper his we can say pilgrims, and he made his place here at Kashi. Today also Kashi is well known for the puja and many things in Hinduism, even for the Buddhism. So we can understand lots and lots of knowledge was being taught over there, and this university was also one of the prosperous university, as we had seen there in Nalanda. Mahavir Swami, Lord Mahavir Swami was there. He came there. He did Chaturmas, 15 Chaturmas over there. So he was connected to Nalanda University. Why? Here, Varanasi University, Lord Buddha is connected to here. Many scholars, princes, and others from Punjab and throughout the world, people used to come for knowledge and education over there in this university. Now Vallabi University. This university of Gujarat was the very center of education in 7th century. There was a significant contribution of contemporary ruler of Vansh dynasty and people to make Vallabi a well-renowned and youth center for education. Vidya Dham. Vallabi was the center of Hinayan cult of Buddhist religion. In the middle of 7th century, Buddhist scholars like Srimati and Gumati were the leading principals of Vallabi. The students from the distant area of Ganga Yamuna used to come here from higher studies. Chinese traveler Ascent noted the Vallabi completed with the famous education center Nalanda, which was located at the eastern part of India. Vallabhi was the capital and an international port from 480 AD to 775 AD. The ruler of Vallabhi belongs to Maitra dynasty, were not Buddhists, however they were helping the institutions. In 775 AD, Arabians attacked, Mithras were defeated and the university was closed down. The name of famous scholars were written on the gates. Scholars were showing their erudition were getting higher rights in Raj Sabha. Knowledge, worship and particular system of education made the university famous not only in India but also in world for that time. Students from India and abroad used to come for education in this university. It was an international university in the real sense. Almost all the branches of the knowledge were taught here. The maintenance of the university was done through the charity given by the kings and landlords. Actually, it shows the loyalty of the people towards the university. It was world-renowned University of Indian Education, Vidya, for the knowledge of arts and science. So, Vallabhi University of Gujarat at that time from the 7th century was well known for its education. So, my dear friends, by this chapter we can come to know that how literary our heritage of India was developed. We had gone through language, peace and literacy. Ancient Indian literature means Vedas were there. Then we went to the Brahmanical literature. Then medieval literature. It was just little bit complicated as many languages came into form. Use. Many languages developed as traveling was being a means of transport developed. People came to met each other and languages developed. Even the kings, queens, they supported people, and no doubt the dominant role of different saints, sagas, etc. had made the language and literature richer and richest, we can say. Then we went to the university. 3 universities were there. Nalanda University, Takshashila University, Varanasi, Kashi University, Vallabhi University. Means the means of education had developed too much at that time in India. Today now we are running over to Oxford and this and that university. We are going to the foreign countries, we are going to study in Canada for MBBS. Many of the students are running over to Russia, even China. You can understand, you can imagine that we got the best culture, heritage, and also literary heritage of India. At that time, we can say before BC, means before AD, not before BC, we were the most developed in the field of education, science, philosophy, each and every stage we had, we can say. But due to, as you had gone through in your 9th standard, that how the foreigners came to India, they stole our golden bird, we can say Sone ki chidiya. I'm sorry for my Hindi word, but it changes after ages and ages, and now in a particular condition, situation, as we are learning from home, the time, the modern age had come, the scenario has been changed. All phenomena are working in the other way. We are running away for education. We have no lust of education, but we feel like social status as education. Make your career, as I would like to say for 5 minutes. I am sorry for this, but it's needed in your life. Go through your studies, more and more education, more and more, read more and more, as much as you can. Achieve the knowledge. The knowledge will help you. The knowledge will come to you if you go to the knowledge. So it's my kind request, go through, search for this university. You got a very good instrument with you, means your smartphone. You can go some topics, only some 1 year 2 questions comes, even short note from this university, 4 university. It's sure you will get one of the short note from these universities. So it's easy to remember these two important university are there, Nalanda and Takshashila. We can say Varanasi is also one of Vallabhi, no doubt. So I had not seen any question from Vallabhi University. Some might MCQ, yeah, fill in the blanks might be there, but you have to go through the poets, the writers of different literature, Tamil literature, Sanskrit literature, Urdu literature, Gujarati literature, many languageal literature we can see. You have to go through the big names, big poets. Just remember that. Even and especially most probably the works of Kalidas are, you have to explain. This question comes every time, even for 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7, 8 years. Constantly I had seen that one question from Kalidas is coming. So you can go through that. Hit work, you have to explain which works he has done, what he has written, in which language he has written. So it's up to you, my dear friends, how you go through the universities of these 4 great university. Try and search if you get something. And here today we end this lesson. We will continue with the next lesson that is going to come in our Ekam Kasauti. So till then, thank you very much.